Hey everyone, so welcome to my new episode of Tainted and Tempted. So, as you all know, I usually start my podcast off with a topic, but you know what? I'm going to start it off a little different tonight. I have an artist with me by the name of B. Elise, and I'm going to let you hear some of her music, and we're going to jump right into this topic. Here we go.
I love you, Bobby.
LeBron ho, the way I run the stats. Highlight of the year, you know they run it back. DJ, keep the wave on replay. Bitches shake that ass, don't beat up front, no delay. Getting money three ways. You cannot discount me, my name not no BJ. And she give me BJ. Baby girl so wild, quiet down, tell her behave. Knocking off the lamppost, her desire ample. I don't love them, I just fuck them, I just give them samples. No fucks about a hoe, I just grind some more. It's come up like it's nasty, no paradise when we roll. Always moving, motors gotta go. Tell them adios, pressure came, no one behind the post. Live man turned to ghost, I took all approach. Got knocked down and came back dirty, no surprise here folks. Surpass the most, I go back for more. Ain't no scared here, yeah we in here. Flipping curves with words, the words bounce off your bitch real. Shoulda never brought your bitch here. LeBron ho, the way I run the stats. Highlight of the year, you know they run it back. DJ, keep the wave on replay. Bitches shake that ass, don't beat up front, no delay. Getting money three ways. You cannot discount me, my name not no BJ. And she give me BJ.
All right, everyone. I hope y'all like them little tunes that we heard. All right. So I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves, and we'll start off with the artist that was rapping.
Hey, you already know it's B. Elise representing Jamaica, Queens, New York in the building. Is this the camera I should be looking into or...
Yes,
okay. Hello world. Yes, B. Elise. You already know. And that was my record LeBron, which is definitely on SoundCloud. So definitely check that out and support it for sure.
Yes. And I also have...
What's up? It's Exile. You already know what it is. Frontline representative. Southside Jamaica, Queens. Hope everybody's doing good.
Yes.
Here supporting the team. B. Elise, you already know what it is.
Yes.
You already know.
Coleman is out now everywhere.
Everywhere.
Well, I just want to say thank you for both of y'all for coming through tonight on my podcast. I appreciate it. Yes. So y'all already know. My topic is, do you feel like African Americans or Hispanics have the proper education when it comes to schools and teachers?
No.
No.
Straight answer.
Okay.
No, because when you're in your neighborhood, it's kind of hard to assess because that's all you know.
Mm-hmm.
But when you travel outside of your neighborhood, and if you're wise enough to ask and inquire about how other people went to school and how they were treated, you see there's a difference. And even in my school, I've seen blacks get suspended 10 times more than somebody else that they would thought were white or something. I had a friend, get into like mad fights. she got like 2 fights first year of high school, and they didn't suspend her because they thought she was white, but she was actually Palestinian.
So you feel like it's a more racial thing?
Yeah, it's a more racial thing, and like I said, if you venture outside of your neighborhood and you inquire about how other people went to school, you definitely hear the difference. They don't teach us a lot.
That's a fact. Yeah. What about you? What you think about that? Do you feel like we got the proper education?
Absolutely not. I think when it comes to our culture, African American, Hispanic, or whatever, we have to work a little bit harder.
Okay.
To get the education that we're supposed to get.
That's right. Even with jobs.
Like it's the way it is. It's like it's designed to keep us a little bit lower than
the whites. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
We could say it, the white motherfuckers.
To say it that way.
Right.
But that's what it was designed to do. So it's like we have to go above and beyond. We have to be able to see what they are teaching us in school and go above and beyond to go further in the research of our roots and our ancestors and what we're supposed to be learning to be prepared for anything when it comes to life outside of what they're teaching us.
Yeah.
What they're teaching us.
So now that we said it's a race issue, right? What about downtown? Do you feel like it's certain areas that teachers feel the need to go to educate these children?
What do you mean?
Like as far as like a teacher want to be employed in the city more with the white children. Or a teacher would not want to take a job in the Bronx or Harlem because there's a bunch of black kids and we're going to act crazy. In their opinion, right?
Well, I think
Good.
I think that they go ahead.
It is. It's the truth.
I guess teachers
Some
do that.
pick where they want to work.
Teachers do pick where they want to work, and I do believe it's to. It could be for a number of reasons. It could be for the look of the resume. You know what I mean? It could be the look. It could be the fear of certain things, of being worried, the stigma of the urban community schools.
Exactly.
And that's a stigma that we got to get rid of. Like we got to hurt us. Like, here's the thing. White, not even white people. I guess all people have to get rid of the stigma that black people are going to hurt white people.
That's right.
That's something that has to be. You've never heard of a black person hurting or harming a white person.
That's right.
For no apparent reason. You've never heard such a thing. It's the other way around. It's always the other way around.
Where do you feel like that stigma comes from? These white people feel we always out to hurt them or do something to them. Where do you...
Fear.
Fear. But fear what? Our color?
Fear of everything. Fear of everything.
But they're not fearful of their own people. Their people's the ones shooting up schools and doing crazier things. So, you know what I'm saying? We could take it to that extent.
Right.
But us, what are we doing so crazy?
Well, that's a long
Yeah.
discussion. That's them thousands and thousands and thousands of years before us.
That's right.
That goes from
That
goes from like Europe and Spain and Moorish stuff.
And it's
but,
not
like,
all
it's
white.
just-
It's not all white people. So I don't want to say like it's all categorized. It's not. It's not all white people, but at the same time, it is a decent amount who always feel like they have to find a way to be superior to people
us.
of our color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they when it's realized that when they try to use strength to oppress us and realize that doesn't work, then they use the victim role.
But you know what? I feel like, too, us as black African Americans, we need to stick together more. We don't stick together.
We don't know
All
how.
we care about is the latest fashion, the latest trends. You know what I'm saying? We got bigger problems to worry about.
I think we don't know how to do it. That's not taught to us. That's not part of our culture. Like the way we are, you gotta think about it. We came from slavery. They freed us.
They taught us that in school. That's all we know. We don't know our real history.
Yeah, and they freed us, but people fail to realize, like, when they freed us, we 20, 30, 40 years after freedom, we had Black Wall Street, which they bombed.
That's that.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then while we were in slavery, they were calling us criminals and rapists and all of that stuff. The power of suggestion is very powerful.
That's right.
So if you keep telling us and showing us in all these TV shows and media and photos that this is how we act, this is our culture, this is the status
We're
quo,
gonna pick it up.
we're gonna pick it up.
Right.
We do have liability because at some point we should analyze it a little bit more.
That's right.
We're not taught to analyze it.
But they putting it out there for a reason, I feel like, to keep us dumbed down. So we don't really know the truth. It has to be.
Right.
Well, it's
You know-
it's we can't. It's partially our fault
It's partially our fault. You feel
partially our
like?
fault.
Why do you feel like it's our fault?
because we are susceptible to it.
We're accustomed- okay.
We're just because it's hard, even though we are freed and we've been freed forever. It's hard to break out of the slave mentality.
Okay.
You think of us now in this day and age that we are, who have never been slaves. We don't know what that's like. We don't know. We just know the history.
Right.
But mentally, it's still somehow encoded in
Yeah.
us. And it's like you don't know where it came from. It's like, okay, you have the issue with Rosa Parks who sat in front of the bus, said, I'm not moving. I'm not going nowhere. And all they wanted to do was for black people to sit in the back of the bus.
That's right.
Here we are, 2019. Where do we sit?
We
By
sit in
choice.
the back of the bus. Yeah.
Not by force, by choice. Because the back of the bus is more lit. Why?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is.
And but yeah, you know, like stuff get passed down by DNA, all
Right.
of that. If your father was in construction and his hand became rough, you might be born with rough hands. But that is also mentally too. If your father was an alcoholic, you might be more susceptible to being an alcoholic.
But I do feel like you said, it starts with the teachers. If we're not taught the proper education, you know what I'm saying? We're not taught about our history.
But we got to change that.
How?
We have to put the initiative. It takes effort.
For better teachers?
Well, no, as far as
I think
us
we
as
got to teach. I think we got to teach our kids at home.
people. Exactly.
Because how do you change the schooling system? You
what I'm
understand what I'm
saying,
saying?
the schooling
How do you
system.
change the schooling system? Because before they used to tell us, you know, Columbus, he discovered America. And he was this great thing. And then just a couple years ago, I remember my niece coming home and she's like, well, they're not teaching that to us anymore. They're teaching us that he robbed, the Indians and stuff like that. I'm like, but wait, we've been complaining about that. We've been saying, hey.
And now they want to
Listen,
change
I
it.
remember
Now you
when
want
I
to
was-
change it?
It's crazy.
How
When I
did they
was
change
in-
it? Who changed it?
When
Where did
was
we
in-
go?
That's right. When we was in school, who was the most black people we heard about? Martin Luther King.
Frederick Douglass.
We didn't hear about Malcolm X. Did we hear about Malcolm X
Not
in
at all.
school?
Not at all.
No. We heard
Barely.
about Rosa Parks.
Heard about Rosa Parks.
Who else?
It was
That-
Susan B. Anthony.
No,
We
I
never-
didn't hear about her. in
I-
my
I-
school.
I went to Susan B. Anthony.
I heard about Susan.
Okay, all right.
I
You
know
see?
I heard
Yeah,
about Susan
this-
B.
I
Anthony.
heard
it's
Susan B.
cool.
I went
Anthony.
to Susan B.
Yeah.
Anthony.
Okay, so that's why. But other than that, come on, because I didn't hear about her. Who else? We heard about more white people.
George Washington Carver. But we did hear about more white people. This is true. We did hear more about white people. It wasn't
And it wasn't even like the good pack. Like they
It
didn't
wasn't.
teach us about
It
Tesla. Like
Right.
Yeah.
why had to be mad grown to hear about a man named
This is
Tesla?
what I'm
I'm
saying.
like, y'all picking and choosing who y'all
Right.
even teach about. Like, and that's y'all
Right.
people.
All right, so
taught
let's get back
history.
on track with this next question. So, do you feel like Caucasians? All right, we already said this. Do you feel like Caucasians feel superior than us? We already said that.
some.
Right, some of them. I think it's all of them.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's all of them. Some of them might say no, but they got that. Like you just said, we have that in the
It's
back of our
encoded.
mind about. They have that as well. Come on.
Yeah, I can see. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not going to change. Come on. They feel like they have a better lifestyle than us. They could get more things than we can. It's true. Come on.
What about
Look
the,
what's going on
what about
now
lower
with the
class?
cops.
What about the lower class white people?
Same thing. Same thing. Come on. And you know what's so crazy now? Our own people are starting to be like that towards us too. When they make it to the top, they start to look down on us like,
They've been like
there
that.
you go.
That's what I'm saying.
They've been
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying.
But
been
it's
like that.
messed
It's
up.
been like that. And again, goes back to slave mentality.
Yes.
When there were, yes,
But
there were slaves.
that's why you had Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they talk about that lady. All we see is that picture of her being elderly in the chair.
And
Yeah.
the chick,
she had a shotgun
She-
everywhere she went. She
Yeah.
was like, "Get down or lay down," because you ain't feeling to go back to
That's
master
right.
and tell him what we about to do or what we doing right now.
that's
real.
a fact.
Like
So do you
you gotta
feel
have more
like
people like that.
So do you feel like with these Caucasians, do you feel like they know our story from where we came from, or you feel like they just don't care?
I think the masses of Caucasians, like the ones that that you could reach, probably don't know.
Okay.
I know the ones that's up there. They know. I mean, what is that old saying? If you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book.
Mm.
And when you read these books, and that's why I be quiet about a lot of stuff like this. I be so quiet because it'd be black people be like, but how do you know? And you don't know. I'm like, this is not coming from a black person. This is
That's
coming
right.
from a white scholar.
That's right.
You
That's
understand?
right.
And
Mhm.
guess what? He wrote this in 1949.
Mm.
You dig what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he took his references from somebody else who wrote about this years before
And it got
him.
passed down,
So
yeah.
what are you talking about? You understand what I'm saying? Like they know. They write about it. You can get hundreds of books by white scholars that talk about our history down to a T. Some of them will be racist. They will say, I have a hatred towards, colored people. They'll express it, but in the same breath, they say, well, our discovery shows this, that.
Right,
You know,
right.
I guess they're true to their craft. You know what I mean? But, yeah, they know. They know.
How do you feel about this stigma that we have? Black people is always wild and crazy. They get mad too fast. Or how do you feel about that?
I think.
Because it's more in tune. I feel like with white people,
I
they
think.
have this, and I don't want to sound bad because we talking about white people, but it's real. It has to be talked about. It has to be talked about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, they have this stigma towards us. Like, oh, yeah, they get mad too fast.
Well,
They ratchet. They crazy. Not all of us is like that. Some
Well,
of us
but-
is
but
working,
this-
going to school.
but again, this is partially our fault because they'll say that, but we're the ones giving them the ammo to say it.
Yeah,
True.
we give them the ammo.
We give
True.
them the ammo. Like
We give 'em-
It's not. I mean, granted, yeah, they did make up the narrative that that's what it is, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess some black people said, well, if that's what they're calling us, then we might as well do it.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So it's like, again, they gave us the guns, and we just keep shooting them.
Got it.
I think
Alright.
I think that too. I mean, that's where we have the liability, but it's a systematic thing. Like I mean if we don't, what can you say for a group of people that don't know who they are, that have no resources, that their mother probably called them a bitch. Their fathers probably whooping on them crazy. Whoopings come from slavery. You understand? Don't nobody whoop their kids like black people.
Real shit.
That's
The way
a
you
that's
said
that's
it,
a
no,
real
it's
that's a
totally
real that's a
shit.
No,
fact.
you
We
right.
brag
Right.
about that
Person
shit.
can
Yeah.
whoop- no
That
white
shit-
man can
We
whoop.
brag
Yeah.
about that
Yeah.
shit, but that shit comes from slavery.
Yeah.
It's
we
like-
got our ass whipped. I ain't going
It's like what can you say for a group
Yeah.
of people that suffered all of that and don't have no reference to look to and say, well, this is how I'm supposed to. It's some people that act crazy as far as black people, and you talk to them, you be like, man, this motherfucker really don't know no better.
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
You might see their parent, and you be like,
That's why.
and then you gotta ask, who raised that motherfucker?
Yeah.
And then if you might meet the grandma, you be like, but who raised the grandma? And
That's
then
right.
if you go back further enough, it's slavery. It's
But
like,
you know what? When we look at these like races, when we look at Muslims, we look at whites, they all know where they came from. You get what I'm saying? Their history, where they all started. Blacks, we don't know shit. We don't know where we from. We take a DNA test now, we find out we got 50% white in us,
Right.
10% this, 10% that. We don't know nothing. We don't know our roots. We don't have no proper home. It
Takes-
just goes on.
we don't know where we from. We don't
Yeah.
know. It's
We don't got no structure.
we don't
It
know.
takes
We don't
effort.
know. We don't know
It
what's
takes
good
effort.
for us, what's bad for us.
These girls out here having sex with X, Y, and
We-
Z, giving their body away. It's just like, come on.
I think
Come on.
I think we as a people we probably need to get to a place where we just re-educate ourselves. But we got to know that we need to re-educate ourselves. Some people don't know that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We got to get back to like if we were to do a DNA test and you find out you from what's a country in Africa? A random country,
Nigeria.
or something like that. Like the people living in Nigeria, that's a whole different climate than America, than New York. You understand?
But Africans stick together.
They're eating different. You know what I'm saying?
We
They're
don't-
breathing
Africans
different.
stick together. We don't stick together.
We don't stick together. We don't even know.
We don't even know.
We don't
Let's
even know.
just jump into the next song real quick. We'll come back.
On a happy note,
Yes, on a happy note. Let's jump into the next Beely song.
introduce it.
Let's introduce it real quick.
Booming.
That's what
And the
I
bass
said.
stay booming.
That was good. That was really good, y'all. Yeah, it's just like too much to say. You know what I'm saying?
It
The
is too
questions
much.
is like, right? We need a part 2 in it.
Then the bass stay booming. Carry on round 2. And the bass stay booming. Ho up, carry on round 2. And this club stay lit up. We don't worry about the hate you give us. That shade is a downgrade. Nowadays we be ballin' out our way. And everybody our way. Getting money, nigga, nowadays. And the bass stay booming. Ho up, carry on round 2. And this club stay lit up. We don't worry about the hate you give us. That shade is a downgrade. Nowadays we be ballin' out our way. And everybody our way. Getting money, nigga, nowadays. Damn, I got money grand in my hands with no proof. Baby, I be too fly for these rockets. Baby, I be just fine with these props. Man, I'm bout it. Walking all over town and be cop. You a hater, you frown, just be top. Spread a word around town, I be not. But I can't be not. Grind hard, my nigga, and we stuck. Shine bright, you can't even see that. Dollar signs whenever that we come. Still hustle, I think it's like 3 something. Are you sleep, man? We don't. Talk crazy, my nigga, and we something. Living life, goddamn, but we pump. Getting money, nigga, nowadays. I was always just a grind away. Always just a grind away. Now I'm here, baby, now to stay. And the bass stay booming. Go up, carry on round 2. And this club stay lit up. We don't worry about the hate you give us. That shade is a downgrade. Nowadays we be ballin' out our way. And everybody our way.
All right, we're back. That's a nice ass song. Tell us about that song. What made you write that song?
I be trying to tell her.
That was a good ass song right there.
She be like, nah, I don't
Yeah,
want.
you don't really
You
feel
see?
that song? It's always like that. The
Nah.
best songs, the artists always be like, I'm not feeling that.
I
But
told
somebody
her.
else always sees the vision,
I
right?
told her. I was like, yo,
It's-
that's it.
It's always like that. Somebody else always sees the
What she
vision.
tell me? She was like, LeBron. I was like, nah, son. I said, LeBron is dope.
Yeah.
I said, push
So
it.
what's up? What made you, put that song together?
I was desperate.
Okay.
I was like, it was like a late night run to the studio after my part-time retail job. I went to the studio with Young Stokes,
What?
and I was like, yeah, but he also produced for Chinks Drugs before his passing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he produced Young Abu Dhabi, that song.
Oh yeah, I like that song. That
Yeah,
song is
yeah,
lit.
yeah.
Ah.
So I'm in the studio with him. I said, Stokes, man, I'm tired of this. I can't
Yeah.
live like this. I need to make a hit. Let's do it.
Right.
So he was like, man, I'm like trying to do something different. And I'm like, all right, cool. So he plays this beat, plays it. I'm like, okay, I like this. You know what I'm saying? And it just came to me because I like different. Like he looked at me, he's like, it's different though. I was like, I like different.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo. So
You want that? Okay.
yeah. So and then that's how it came together.
So you rap and sing, or you just sing?
I do both.
You do both.
Yeah.
Okay. So what inspired you to sing and rap?
I've been singing I've been doing music my whole life. I started off singing at first. I don't remember when I started, but I just always have been. I stopped when I was like 10 or 9 because I wanted to be a rapper for some reason, and DMX was like the hottest rapper, and he don't sing, so
Yeah.
I said
That nigga don't sing. He
I
can't be
said
no
it.
singer.
No. That's false. That is false.
We don't need no
That is,
DMX.
no.
as a
That is
singer
that
now.
is false. That is false.
when DMX was in that red suit talking about DMX,
Whoa, we don't need him as
Listen,
a
listen.
he
singer.
was not singing.
Let me just say, first of all, DMX inspired me to rap. DMX does sing.
You
because-
talking about that
Get the
that
fuck
that,
outta
that
here.
sad
Go
that
to
sad
his
brown
albums.
that
Shit.
Go to his albums. Listen to his albums. He's singing on
that's
them motherfuckers.
harmonizing.
Listen.
Well, not sing. You know what I mean?
Next
Nah,
subject.
nah. I
Next
was like
Not
DMX don't
He's not in
sing.
the choir.
Yeah,
Let me
okay.
kill this. Let me stop
Whatever,
this Destiny
DMX
Child
fan.
bullshit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But that's how it started for me. And then, throughout my teenage years, I decided to start singing again. And
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So would you be comfortable with spitting a little something on the podcast, rap, singing, or you good for the night?
Oh, man.
It's up to you.
Yeah, gotta be.
It's up to you. If you good, you good. We could just, close it out. It's fine.
Nah, I don't mind. I put me on the spot.
You sure? I'm putting you on the spot? It's all right. Maybe next time.
What beat y'all got?
All right, so we could do a little beat. We could do this for like a good minute or so and, wrap it up. Or we just end it out with your last song. You want to do that? You want to end it out with your last song?
Either or, it don't matter.
We could do that too. We could end it out with the we could end it out with your last song.
Yeah, let's end it out with the song then.
Okay. Let me just... You want me to close it out or... All right, so let me just close it out. So thank you. So let's show your card,
Yeah,
everything
that's
on the tape. Yes,
show it
girl.
off.
Little business card, you know what I'm saying?
Little nothing. Listen. Look at this.
trying to be type professional.
Wait, you got your hand in your...
I'm trying to be type
okay.
professional. Type professional. Type professional.
Exactly. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for tuning into my late night episode of Tainted and Tempted. I hope you enjoyed this topic. I know it was a little, juicy and it was a little, sentimental because I was talking about the Caucasians and African Americans. But this is real. You know what I'm saying? This is something we really need to talk about.
Real stuff.
And I know, we went a little bit over time, but we went in. And I might do a part 2 on this because I feel like it's more that we need to discuss on, all right? So we're just going to end it off with Be At Least new song. And everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.
I owe them. Thank you.
Dollar amount on the table. I told him, I said I do what they ain't able. I told him, I said I hit them where it counts. I told him, on the block, my folks in every house. I told them, they try to get you where it hurts. I know them, now I'm about to go berserk. I showed them, I gotta get it up the most. Cause I owe them, break it down and overdose. Game potent, flip it out, get it down, lick it down, get a wow. I'm living lifestyle loud, they pay the price right now. It's the night right now, we going off, cut they line right now. They don't know the loss, they don't know the loss. So surviving a holy war, sacrifice for a sacrifice. Imagine more for the colored ice, magnified by a couple fights. Express the life through a fucking mic. I don't have the time to chill, nigga. But past the bucket ice, I revise what we callin' life. I said it happened, I called it right. They chirping around, but that's all aside. The birds, they shitting, they full of it. Scramble around, come so they mad at my living. But that is a given, divine is the pimpin'. I'm sick, catch a line of my symptoms. Moment of silence for victims. I'm so aligned with the vision, I can see straight to the chicken. I'm too late to be sitting. Cut the change, what the fuck's for? We popping locks if they don't open doors. We coming through and we'll come for yours. Been down for too long to be taking shorts. Been down for too long to be taking shorts.